about you guys, but I really miss Danny Phantom on Nickelodeon. Why did it only get like 3 seasons? Like Invader Zim, Danny Phantom became a cult favorite for goth kids and weirdos in the early aughts. One of the coolest things about the show was the Ghost of the Week trope the show used to create ghosts, ghouls, and phantoms with crazy powers, and today we're gonna revisit all of them. I'm Whitney Van Laningham, and this is NerdWire's ranking of the raddest ghosts in Danny Phantom. Number 38, Sidney Poindexter, aka the ghost in Locker 724. Long ago, Sidney Poindexter was a student at Casper High School that was relentlessly bullied for being a nerd, and now he haunts his old locker, ready to beat up assholes. Number 37, Cujo. The Stephen King Nightmare Dog is a ghost pug! He starts off as a tiny pug and transforms into a big old scary pug. Look at him, such a good boy. Number 36, Klemper. I feel so bad for Klemper. He just wants to be everyone's friend. But he's terrifying and he can breathe ice, so it makes sense. Number 35, Bullet. Bullet is Walker's second in command, and his job is to wrangle all the bad ghosts in the ghost world for his boss. Unfortunately, he kinda sucks at it. Number 34, the Ghost Writer. The Ghost Writer's powers are actually pretty cool. Anything he writes comes to life. I'd skip all the Christmas poems and write myself a check for $1 billion, but maybe that's just my preference in ghost manifestations. 33, the Headsman and the Archer Ghost. Both of these ghosts were sent by the Dark Prince to attack Danny and keep him away from Sam. The Executioner Ghost has sick body armor and weapons, but all in all, they're a little too medieval for me. 32, Hotep Ra. Hotep Ra is an ancient Egyptian mummy ghost who makes Tucker the king of the undead Egypt. He has a cool scepter and his power is bringing hieroglyphics and sphinxes to life. 31, the Guys in White. The Guys in White are, I guess, kinda like the Men in Black. Only reversed, because they're the ghosts hunting down Danny Phantom. 30, Frostbite. Frostbite initially looks like your average Wampa, but he's actually so much less cranky without that ice in his neck. He later gives them the Infomap, which allows them to go to any location in the ghost zone. 29, Vortex. After Plasmius sets him free, Vortex the Weather Ghost returns to the human world to unleash his evil weather patterns on Amity Park. His powers end up rubbing off on Danny a little bit, and the two of them plus Vlad have an epic weather battle. 28, Amorphous. I normally love a prankster, but Amorphous is the worst! He pranks people by taking over their meat suit and having them do crazy things. 27, Undergrowth. As usual, Sam is working on her greenhouse in this episode when one of her carnivorous plants morphs into undergrowth. His superpower is that he can regenerate very quickly, and he plans to replant all of Amity Park. Number 26, Prince Aragon, aka the Dark Prince. Okay, so technically this is Princess Dora's brother, but he's super crazy evil. Did I mention that he can also turn into a dark dragon with his family's haunted amulet? Number 25, Wolf. Wolf is a ghost wolf that can tear open the ghost world to reach the human world at will. He helps Bullet track down Danny in the human world, but after Danny saves him, the two become best buds. Number 24, Danielle. Danielle, or Danny for short, is Danny's cousin. Unbeknownst to him, she's working with her daddy Plasmius, but eventually realizes he's using her and joins the good side. Numbers 22 and 23, Clockwork and the Observance. Clockwork is the ghost master of time, and kind of a neutral character in the ghost world. He can manipulate time, and he knows everything that's ever happened or ever will happen. The Observers are mysterious creatures that can only observe but never interfere, and they're technically the ones who want to murder present-day Danny in the Dark Danny episode. Number 21, Freak Show. Freak Show is the ringleader of a goth circus, who also happens to have a ringleader staff that controls ghosts. To be honest, his ghost army would be so freaking cool if they weren't bad guys. Number 20, Youngblood. Captain Youngblood is the child ghost pirate who really isn't all that scary. He's like 10 years old. I guess his skeleton crew is scary, but I feel like Danny could take them all down. Number 19, the Dairy King. The Dairy King is actually the first nice ghost we meet in the series besides Danny, and he's definitely one of the funniest. He's from Wisconsin, loves cheese, and just wants to help. Number 18, Desiree. This sexy ghost can grant wishes. Of course, she usually uses her power for evil. Number 17, Box Lunch. What do you get when the two grossest characters on the show have a baby? Box Lunch! Box Lunch is the daughter of Box Ghost and Lunch Lady Ghost. Number 16, Lunch Lady Ghost. Lunch Lady Ghost can manipulate kitchen appliances and dinnerware, and she's a fiercely loyal fan and protector of Meatloaf. She even goes full Lady Gaga and summons a buttload of meat to make herself a little meat suit. Number 15, Box Ghost. Then there's the Box Ghost, who haunts a warehouse and a shipyard, I guess? His domain is containers of all sizes, cardboard and square. He's a cardboard crusader, ready to attack. Number 14, Dora the Dragon Princess. This fire-breathing ghost dragon is pretty interesting because it's actually attached to a haunted amulet. It first haunts a ghost princess named Dora, whose mom won't let her go to the dance, but the dragon also possesses Paulina, Sam, and a few other characters throughout the series. In the end, the princess really isn't all that bad. She's just being controlled by her lame, conceited older brother. Number 13, Skulltech 9.9. Skulltech is the ghost hybrid made up of Skulker and Technus. With their powers combined, Skulltech 9.9 has a kick-ass operating system and the battlesuit of Skulker. Number 12, Johnny, Kitty, and Shadow. As Johnny and Kitty are about to motorcycle into the human world with Johnny's trusty bad luck Shadow in hot pursuit, Kitty hands Johnny her clothes and tells him to find a human girl to wear them so that she can put her spirit in a body again. Johnny tries to trick Jazz into going out with him so that he can force her to wear his dead girlfriend's clothes. Serial killer. Number 11, Technus. Technus is the ghost master of science and electrical technology. He has a cool-ass high-tech Morningstar for a weapon, can animate any electronic device, and transforms all of Danny's dad's ghost-infested appliances into a giant robot suit. Number 10, Ember. Ember is the exact ghost I would be if I were on this show. She's a dope metal chick with corpse paint, but her behavior's not very metal. She wants to enslave the human race with her music, instead of encouraging us to thrash and mosh against being a slave to society's standards. Numbers 8 and 9, Penelope, Spectra, and Bertrand. Casper High's new guidance counselor turns out to be a ghost that is kept young by teen misery and despair, and her assistant Bertrand has the power to shapeshift in his goo form. Her motive is the darkest so far. She wants to kill Danny's sister Jazz to give his family and friends a depression she can feed off of forever. Number 7, Skulker. Remember Box Ghost from that other episode? Turns out he's this guy's assistant. Skulker wants to capture Danny to add to his collection of half-ghost, half-human souls. Also, he looks metal as heck doing it. Of course, it turns out that Skulker is actually a teeny tiny ghost boy, so maybe he's not so badass after all. Number 6, Walker. Walker kinda looks like one of the members of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, but he's actually a lot more terrifying. He's the guy responsible for locking up all the bad guys Danny sent to the ghost zone, and he has super strength. Number 5, Nocturne. Like Spectra, ingesting people's souls makes Nocturne and his sleepwalkers even stronger. He and his Oogie Boogie cronies have the ability to put people to sleep, and even has the power to infiltrate dreams and nightmares, obviously. Number 4, Fright Night. Legend has it that the Fright Night can turn the human world into your worst nightmare, so obviously Danny accidentally recruits him to be the decoration for his teacher's haunted house. His weapon is the Soul Shredder, and his armor is pretty badass too. Number 3, Pariah Dark. The Ghost King Pariah Dark is one scary-ass haunt. He's the scariest ghost in Ghost Zone history, and he rules with the Ring of Rage and the Crown of Fire. He's awoken by Vlad Plasmius and ends up wreaking havoc on the human world. As we all know, in the world of Danny Phantom, you're not truly a scary ghost unless you can command an undead army of skeletons, so Pariah Dark checks every box. He's eventually defeated and locked back up in the sarcophagus of forever sleep. Number 2, Vlad Plasmius. He's a Green Bay Packers fan and Danny Phantom's arch-nemesis. He's still holding a grudge against Danny's dad from college, and Danny finds out that Vlad is actually the first human-ghost hybrid that Jack created. He can multiply himself, shoot pink ectoplasmic energy blasts out of his hands, and he has 3 ghost vulture lackeys to do his bidding. Even though he's Danny's spiritual opposite, he still wants nothing more than for Danny to join him so they can take down his idiot ghost hunting dad together. Number 1, Dark Danny. 10 years in the future, Danny's 24 years old and the most powerful ghost in the world. He's what happens when Danny goes full evil after his parents die in the Nasty Burger boiler explosion. Dark Danny moves in with Plasmius and asks his former arch-nemesis to remove his human side. Once he does, Danny's ghost side fuses with Vlad's ghost side, which makes him pure evil. He then murders his human side, going full ghost once and for all. I think that's every ghost in Danny Phantom, right? Let me know which ones are your favorites in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to NerdWire.